So yeah, I mean, the whole thing is a projection from the outside, inside, outside, so that your whole identity has come from this idea that society gave you. It came from the outside, and you believe it's who you are. So the Gnostic belief is quite the contrary. And even there, even the shots and all of it. Because I combine the tantric philosophy with Gnostic, I would say somehow I have to accept it all, everything. So you got the pirate speech. As I've said before, personal infighting is how the aliens make people that don't comply, even the rebels, even especially if they have cell phones. That's the easiest way to do it. The devil, the Luciferians, the Black Suns, the Satanists, and Black Wizards. They can easily, and the evil aliens can easily manipulate about 96% of everyone through cellular phones. It's really easy, man. You guys make it way too easy on them, and that's why I'm telling you, man, because I love you. Um, so the solution, is to take deep breaths when you're talking to people and reclaim truth. Reclaim your respect for truth, a personal integrity, your truth and love and respect for yourself and others. Clarity and competence, discernment, coherence. Because incoherence, again, through the use of cellular phones and these injections, incoherence, look, you could almost probably mark, if you did a scientific study of everyone who took the experiment, that, I would venture to say that, even the people who you don't see any harm for several years, overtly, the incoherence will be overt now. So just check it out. Tell me what you think. Comment. Okay. This is a conversation. I hope, I love it when it is. You people, I love to conversate with you through these gadgetry. Tesla invented this in 19. I mean, he had a form of Wi-Fi invented. I don't know, primitive Wi-Fi in 1900. He presented at the World's Fair in the year 1900. 123 years ago, man. He's incredible, right? So I don't bring all this information to scare you. And I bring the information to inspire awareness, healing, and discernment, clarity, and peace. I'm here to bring the actual vibration of the healing of this um, scraping your wounds on the chalkboard. Because you see, the dark ones, and they run all the elementary to university, the forced schooling. Again, the Dark Lord is, again, not just by their signature of harm, but also by their coercion. They always try to force things on you, man. So with these reptilians, it's just going to get worse the more you obey, right? Okay, but this is a free will universe and planet. For the freedom of Nadaru, I recommend watching Elena Dunham's beautiful artwork, mini 11-minute film about that. And that's why we work. That's why we do this, because we love you. Okay. Pirate slogan moment of the show. Okay, this is a new segment I got where I'm gonna disclose some of their false reality statements. Okay, when you say we're gonna make a killing, making a killing. Okay, where do you think that statement originated? Comment for me. How about this? We're taking for a midwifing. Okay, the thing I got to say about healing into the fifth dimension, Christ consciousness, and your chakra system, and three-dimensional reality, my finances, and is that Bartzis has said this, but I'll say it here. You know, it's a tragedy, man, that we can advance in some ways. Like, say, one chakra and not the other. Like, say, I can become mentally enlightened but not do the work. So this video is series is really helping me. I want to thank you, the viewer, and my YouTube family for helping me to participate in life a little more with my wisdom rather than trying to actually cast pearls to swine of Santa Cruz, intellectual swine, that is. I mean, rather than people that were really closed-minded. Now, once in a while, actually, my gauge was 20% of the town loved everything I said, or would converse with me about Christ or the devil as much as they wanted or they had time to. But my goal for this whole series is to be myself. The whole reason why I became a one-man band, the reason why I learned sacred sexuality and meditation, the reason why I studied Buddhism for years in general, shamanism for half my life, 2/3 of my life now, it's because I just want to be myself. I wasn't trying to be someone else. I knew that, and now I consider myself a Gnostic because I consider Gnosticism the real Christianity or Christ consciousness. So it's all about being myself. I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm not trying to save the world personally. Again, I had the Jimi Hendrix 27 Club syndrome. As a young person, I thought I was supposed to save everyone through my oneness conscious music and then die of a drug overdose, or I was into drinking then, maybe alcoholism. So giving up the Luciferians' mind control programs is a huge part of the tuning into the fifth dimension. You can't do it if you're still afraid. I have friends that would watch or would have their own shows, both, but are too afraid to openly tell me, or they'll change the subject, pretend to be interested, or they won't even. Shit, I have friends, and they're not even. It's not even because they're narcissistic. It's because they're openly afraid. They won't even watch the show because everyone. Again, this goes back to what I said a moment ago. Everyone is at a different level of healing right now, a different level of awareness, a different level of being attuned into the Christ or Satan. Everyone is at a different place with this evolutionary process. So it's a risky, dangerous thing to make videos, but I do it because I've had a lot of awakened experiences. I studied consciousness my whole life. It's 2023, and what I was just thinking about studying the Gnostic things is what I have to do now is to forgive Sophia. And if Howdy is watching, I want your comment on what you think about that. Howdy Machowski, I got to email you that question if you don't respond. What do you think? Anyone? I mean, the Gnostic concept was that the divine wisdom was this feminine spirit, and let me just encapsulate it and make a short statement. It's like she allowed Lucifer to do what they did to get the spiritual wisdom and invert it and pervert it. So when you're awake, it's interpersonal freedom. Okay, what does that mean? It's like you don't. When you're a born again Christian, you want to yell on the corner. You don't want to keep it just for yourself because you realize what Yeshua, Jesus Christ said, when two or more are gathered in my name, I'm there. It ain't no joke. And if I have to do it through YouTube, then God bless YouTube, okay? So when you realize that within the Christ consciousness field of awareness of the Christ, um, all the false IDs, fake IDs of all sorts, and false orientations dissolve. It's all in the family, everything. The reptilians, the Arcturians, the Most High, Jesus Christ, Sai Baba, and Baba G, Carl Jung, every single soul is a part of our family, like it or not. And my falling for their scams, financially or otherwise, my falling down in that car, running into me, going to the hospital that Rockefeller controls in their monopoly of hospitals and ambulances, and Also, the government has the Amtrak and Greyhound are owned by the government, so they have public long distance transportation monopolies, basically open monopolies, and eating their food for 5 days and their pharmaceuticals. So I've been through it, and I got through it, and I healed. Okay, so I'm here for you. And on that tip, I just gotta say it's 100% unnatural for it to be a blue sky, perfect sunny day in the town of Santa Cruz, California, and me to be freezing, feeling freezing cold, and having to put on a hoodie. But here it is. Santa Cruz in Santa California, if there was no weather manipulation, it would be 73 degrees if it's a blue sky, man. Everybody knows. So stop doing it. It's evil. We're sick of it. My friend said that's how much BG has to force their dominance. Like, oh, I wasn't willing to take it. I wasn't willing to take it. So now he has to force his dominance over even me by dumping nanobots or whatever chemicals that is to make it freezing. Isn't it that smart? I mean, that's the battle I'm fighting here, man. So, like I say, it's the toddler with the atomic bomb, and I'm praying this toddler will somehow, feel the Christ through, even though they're totally possessed. I guess. I mean, I'm not sure, but the mainstream media is, like I said a million times, is a death culture, a death cult culture, run by the regressives, and they're massively competitive and hierarchical. The reptilians are massively competitive. Now, why'd they kill Bill Cooper? Back in the day when it was only David Icke talking about this stuff, not like 35 or 100 or 350 people on YouTube. Why? Because William Cooper was a broadcaster from Texas, a radio disc jockey who was exposing some of these scams and these things the demons and the Illuminati were doing. And they killed him, in my opinion, because he said that people who are addicted to watching football or other team sports are living vicariously through their sports heroes, and that's why they're fat, and that's why they don't really live. And he basically pointed out one of the greatest, I guess, really one of the greatest mental scams the regressives ever pulled, like making people into these lethargic, fat sports fans living vicariously through their sports heroes. And I guess, someone really didn't like it that he pointed that out. So, I would love to form communities with people here in Santa Cruz, but all the issues I detail in these videos really make it a really hard thing to do. And I tend to agree with everybody when they talk about going hundreds of miles from here. I mean, unless I was 100% clear, unless I had all the tools, man. Instead of some of them, I'm just beginning to learn about all this stuff, and I bring it to you because I want to teach you. But individual freedom, harmlessness, we must rapidly learn harmlessness and individual freedom, and we must rapidly learn what equanimity means. Because if we can't, there will be no communities. Okay, so communities are a solution, but again, they're almost always going to be, they're going to try to infiltrate everyone. You just have to be ready and accept it and try to harmlessly, respectfully discern to decline them. If you enjoyed this video, you know the dark ones are going to keep trying to force you to go to school, or they scrape your wounds with a fork across the chalkboard. But at a point you can learn to do as I've done and become someone who is a lifelong learner, who does extracurricular studies that are not harmful, secret society things, as much as learning truth and respect, sovereignty and wisdom, at least on the mental level. And you can learn to be harmless and respect yourself and others, and tune into the frequency of the Most High, the sacred Christos. If you enjoyed this commentary, please subscribe, like, tell me what you thought, and have a fun day, babies and adults. And don't be so dull, be joyous.